What's up guys, it's your boy Evan, and today we would be reacting to some Family Guy content. I reacted to the Stewie Griffin video from the Theorizer, and honestly I am a huge, or would I say, I wouldn't say huge, but I'm actually really a very big fan of Family Guy. I watch it a lot, probably not from the earlier seasons, but you know, I only got to know Family Guy a few years ago, but one of my favorite cartoon series that I have watched recently, and I really enjoy it a lot. So I watched the Stewie Griffin video from the Theorizer, and honestly mind blown, because the things he said about Stewie, man, and what it even makes me want to go watch the previous seasons of Family Guy, so I can even get more context, so I can just, you know, really get into the whole universe of Family Guy. But I really enjoyed that video, and I decided that, you know what, I'm gonna check out another Family Guy related content, and this is about Quagmire. I mean, we all know Quagmire, we all know the giggity so this video is going to be about Quagmire, pretty much its entire story, and I'm really excited to see and know the origins of Quagmire, how he became Quagmire essentially, you get me. And I'm really excited to check this out, and I'm just gonna have fun either way. So if you like this reaction, like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the video. Let's get it. Okay, this video is by Alex Griffin, so please check his video out. I'm really excited to check it myself, so let's get right into the video.
Quagmire is known for the most perverted, deviant, and outright criminal behavior there is, as long as it has to do with sex.
Who else but Quagmire?
But you probably didn't know that his behavior comes as a result of the extremely complicated life Quagmire had. Therefore,
really?
So you can understand it better, I'm going to go over every important event that shaped him into the main
I heard the giggity part there.
Cause even the brightest minds to become deeply flawed.
Really?
Haven't you ever
I thought
felt like the world would be better?
Sorry about that. Anyways, I thought I remember watching clips where I thought his nature being the maniac he is because of how he was born. Like, he was born that way, and his mom, I remember a clip from his mom where his mom was giving birth to him, and his mom told the doctor that, you know, you should put Quagmire back in 9 times and over, and then Quagmire said he was birthed 9 times. So I thought maybe that was like the origin or what made him become who he is, but I'm sure Alex Griffin have an more in-depth story about him.
Honestly, there's a reason.
Yeah, this is the scene I was talking about.
Can have on a person's life. Quagmire is no exception. His high level of promiscuity and even diabolical sexual pervertedness can be traced back to his childhood. Even Quagmire openly admits this, blaming his upbringing for his issues.
To my mom, I never had a chance to be like everyone else.
Oh.
My misguided carnal instincts are the result of being raised by a sexual deviant.
Exactly, his mom
was known for her promiscuity.
So I thought as much.
Glenn would follow in life, giving birth to Glenn 9
exactly.
times.
It's a boy, Mrs. Quagmire.
Ah, that's wonderful.
How do you feel?
Horny.
Yeah,
Really
this is the
horny.
scene I was talking
Could you
about.
put him back so I can push him out again?
Imagine being traumatized this way right from birth. It's the kind of
Exactly.
experience that leaves a
So I was right
no
then.
pun intended. But that's not all that Glenn Quagmire had to deal with. Growing up, his mother kept him
Alright, he's
home,
tough.
and so
I
as a
like
child,
him.
he got
I like
exposed to
this.
seeing the
I like
sexually
Alex
promiscuous
Griffin's
way of
videos.
life as a norm. He even learned his ABCs by memorizing the names of Crystal's lovers.
Art,
Oh.
Bob, Chet, Don, Ed, Frank, Gus, Hal, Irv, John,
I haven't
Ken,
seen this
Matnet,
episode.
But his twisted relationship with his mother goes beyond just this.
As-
Crystal went as far as making sexual moves at him, and so he was basically abused by his own mother. While it wasn't explicitly revealed, other episodes have implied that the two
what?
actually had sex. And while there's plenty to blame Crystal for, we can also trace the way Quagmire treats
Now
women to the fact that
the
he
real question is, who is Quagmire's dad?
a victim of rape as a child. To steal away, Quagmire reveals he lost his virginity at the age of 6 when a female plumber raped him while working at the Quagmire's house at the time. But while Quagmire cannot be exonerated for
didn't
the
know
atrocities
this.
he's committed, we get a better understanding as to why he is the way he is and the strained relationship he has with his mother. Later in life,
Yeah.
Crystal became a born-again Christian and attempted to reconcile with Glenn, but that did not go well.
I haven't seen this episode
This
as
is the
well.
time for you, but you need to seek forgiveness. You need to kneel before Jesus.
How dare you come in here and tell me to seek forgiveness? Where do you get off?
Pretty much everywhere, I hear.
I mean, come on. You cannot ruin your son's life and think old things have passed away simply because
Oh,
you got
God,
born again.
Stewie!
Technically, you did the same thing to Glenn over and over again, so you might have had a second birth, Crystal, but Quagmire got 9. Quagmire, of course,
Stewie!
expresses his deep frustrations
That
recognizing
was
the fact that he is
awful.
messed up the way he is because of his mother.
You've never apologized once for the way you raised me.
Oh,
You're the one who made me what I am.
And
True.
in this moment, the repressed
Sure.
trauma Quagmire has had to bottle in comes to the surface, and
Yeah.
the tone in his voice just carries the sting in his heart. This confrontation all went down in the episode
That's out, man.
where Quagmire was being tried for unknowingly sleeping with a minor and was trying to defend himself. This time around,
Ooh.
Glenn cannot manipulate
I
himself
haven't
with the
watched
law,
this
and he
episode as
actually gets
well.
sentenced to jail. But Crystal, in an attempt to redeem herself before her son reverts back to her old ways,
There are
does
so
what she
many
knows how to do
episodes I
best
haven't
just to
watched.
get her son out of jail.
Mom? What's going on here? By the way, Your Honor, your fly is down.
Well, let's just say some new DNA evidence was produced.
And an impressive
Damn.
amount, I'd say.
Damn.
However, Crystal was not
Damn.
under parental influence on Quagmire.
This show, man.
Quagmire's father, Dan Quagmire, was a decorated
Oh, he's
Navy
that!
officer. He served as the better parental figure and
Ah.
was also Glenn's childhood hero.
Dan Quagmire!
So that's how we became a pilot,
You
yeah?
should be very proud of your dad.
Oh, I am, sir.
It was an honor to...
Glenn's parents, Dan and Crystal Quagmire, were complete opposites in temperament and lifestyle. And it raises my curiosity on how they even got together as a couple.
Yeah, because
A decade-
given his mom's promiscuity, you would think that he's one of the many guys that she sleeps with.
Decorated naval officer was the strong figure of
I
discipline and strictness. As a highly
am
respected figure
really
in the Navy,
intrigued
Glenn,
right
of
now.
course, idolizing his father, followed in its footsteps by joining the Navy later.
But
on.
Quagmire doesn't
It was
look
even
like
during
his dad,
Glenn
though.
Quagmire's time in the Navy that he got to meet Peter in an interesting circumstance, which marked the start of their friendship. Quagmire and his crew had famously rescued what they believed was a manatee, only to discover that it was actually Peter Griffin.
Comparing Peter to manatees, diabolical. Diabolical.
Ensign Glenn Quagmire, welcome aboard.
Yeah, you can
It's
tell
a great
this.
day to get rescued.
You can tell this is the
Jumped into the
older
action like
seasons
Arthur
because
Schmidt
of how the
and his daughter
animation
Lois and
is.
refusing to back off. The two quickly built a bond, and
Oh.
shortly after Quagmire's
Nah,
time
I
in the
need
Navy,
to
he moved
watch
Spooner
the
Street in
older
Rhode
episode,
Island,
the older
buying a house
seasons,
right next to
rather.
Peter's. And with the two living so close together, the influence both have on each other's lives just keeps showing with their deviant personalities, like the episode American Gigolo, where Quagmire hires
Season
Peter to be his
15.
pimp. That, however, didn't work out well in the end.
What are you doing?
You tripping, boy? You're going out if I tell you you're going out, bitch!
And back to Quagmire's dad. It was Peter who pointed out that Dan was possibly having a sexual identity crisis after they saw him
Oh.
dance.
Yeah, that was so funny, man.
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
God.
it wasn't funny.
He's
It
just
wasn't,
hilarious,
it wasn't
that
funny.
guy.
It wasn't funny. It
Oh.
was gay.
What?
Yeah, I think that your father's gay.
But it was a
Wait,
lot
was
more
it
than
not
that.
this?
Maybe it
Was it not
inform-
that? What? Because I remember in the earlier seasons, yeah, one of these, I don't know if it was Quagmire or Joe. I think it was Joe, yeah. His dad turned out to be trans. Or was it I can't remember.
Glenn would have appreciated not even knowing in the first place. This was in the episode Quagmire's Dad.
I think it was Joe's dad.
As a woman trapped in a man's
It's
body.
Quagmire.
I believe you.
Yeah.
But
So
I
it's
am a woman
Quagmire.
trapped in a man's body.
It's
And while I'm
Quagmire.
in Quahog, I plan to have a sex change operation.
Yeah.
Oh, come on, just be gay.
The issues with sexuality and identity in the Quagmire
I
family
remember,
clearly showed her struggle
yeah.
as a family unit. With Crystal
Exactly.
exposing her son to inappropriate
Man,
sexual
you
behavior
gotta
at a
feel
young
bad for
age, it's easy to
Quagmire,
see how
man.
Dan had to hide his own feelings and identity just to be the strong, masculine figure Glenn needed. So when Dan transitions into Ida Davis, this creates a rift between father
Yes,
and
it
son.
was
Glenn
Quagmire's
struggles to
dad.
accept this because it goes against his perverted views and treatment of
Exactly.
women. And so seeing his father, a man that influenced his life, becoming a woman was a
Yeah,
lot
that-
to his
I don't know
process.
how he's gonna
Eventually,
process
Glenn
that,
understands
but-
how unhappy his
yeah.
dad had been and learns to accept Ida.
Wow. Well, all I want is for you to be happy. You're my dad. And if you're happy, I'm happy for you. I'm sorry, Dad.
His father's transformation into Ida forces him to confront his assumptions and rethink how he views identity and acceptance. While much of Glenn's story is played for laughs because, well, it's Family Guy, these moments show how his past and family struggles shape the person he is. Now, we all know that Quagmire isn't the one to admit that he's wrong or has crossed a line, but I have to bring up this one that also had a huge influence on Quagmire. This
I remember
was when
that
he fumbled
scene.
the bag with Cheryl Teagues. Before his full-blown womanizing took over, there were a few intimate relationships that he
So
had
he
gave us
was-
a different view of Quagmire. First is his interesting relationship with Cheryl. Cheryl Teagues was Quagmire's first and only true love. They dated in the early 1980s after
I
having
did
met
not-
Quagmire as a street performer on the
I
boardwalk,
did
where
not
they
know
had grew
this.
into a beautiful thing before Glenn fumbled the bag real bad.
How?
The relationship quickly
What did
ended
he
after
do?
An argument at a party. She dumped him because of his constant jealousy and a sex addiction. But losing the relationship haunted Quagmire so much that he's done everything
The
since
beard's
then to
ki-
fill
the
hole
beard
shut
kind
up
of
and
fit
become a
him, though.
playboy, going from one woman to the next. But years later, she shows up at his door, and before Quagmire got too excited, she reveals that she came over with her new boyfriend, who happens to be Brian.
Cheryl, what
What?
are you doing here?
Well, you know, it's been so many years, and I was in the neighborhood, and I thought I'd just drop by and say
With
hi.
Brian.
Your boyfriend, I guess, knows you and told me where you live.
Brian.
Cheryl, get your fat ass over here before I dump you.
Oh yeah, if
Yeah.
I hadn't mentioned it, these two
I
hate
could tell that was a callback to when Quagmire dumped her. I knew what Brian
We'll look into
did.
that soon.
Yeah, I know that they hate each other
Glenn
as
was his
well.
first wife, a lady named Joan.
Oh,
This
he
was
got
in the episode
married.
I Take Thee, Quagmire. Quagmire met Peter's maid and fell hopelessly in love with her. And after a few dates, Quagmire decided to make
Oh,
things
really?
fully official for life. This seemed so out of character for
Huh.
Quagmire that his friend
Yeah.
believes it's all an act, and the old Quagmire
I
is
believe
still in
I
love.
believe it as well.
I thought we'd be going to Quagmire's for an engagement party.
Cause
I'm telling you guys, he's putting us on. He's the same old Quagmire.
Hey there, neighbors. Are you lost?
Now in a serious
'Cause I remember-
relationship, Quagmire
Oh.
is a changed man, no
Sweet-
longer interested in humping
sweet
everything he
crib.
sees. Peter, however, gets
Looked like
irritated
it
by the
did some
changes
interior
Quagmire made for
decor.
his new fiancée and tries all
I remember
he
he
can to
tried
get
he-
Quagmire back into his own ways.
he got engaged as well
Quagmire, time for your
to a lady who loves dogs or something.
It's degrading to women.
Come on, Quagmire, it's gotta be you. I'm married, Cleveland's got foot odor, and Joe's dead from the waist down. Why do you bring me here?
He even takes it further by trying to entice Quagmire into trying out his foot fetish by acquiring the foot of the Statue of Liberty, but that doesn't work either. Not until
Oh,
the
he's a
reception
foot
for
fetish.
his wedding,
Do you
where
know that?
Quagmire turns back into his old self when he notices Lois's engorged breasts.
Out, champagne.
Peter, stop!
Nah, Peter.
Realizing he has made a terrible mistake,
Nah.
he tries to break up with
Nah,
Joan, but she
Peter,
threatens to kill
man.
him and then herself if he does so. Quagmire then enlists help from his
Peter,
friends to get
come
him
on,
out of it quickly,
that's-
and they chose to fake his death.
Is this a joke?
I wish it
That's-
were, Joan. I
No,
wish it
man.
were a joke. But these things happen, you know? You go for a walk in the park one day, and wheelchair ninjas and Nazis and pots and pans
Wheelchair
robots show up to kill you,
ninjas.
and dinosaurs show up to eat the remains. You've seen the news.
During his very fake funeral, Death arrives to claim Quagmire, but when it's revealed that Quagmire is very much alive, Death says he needs to take a body back with him anyway, so Joan sacrifices herself, instantly dying when she
Oh.
touches Death's arm.
Oh.
You know,
His next marriage was to an old hooker named Charmise. This was all an accident as Quagmire had chugged down one too many beers when he popped the question.
Yeah,
What happened last night?
yeah.
I can tell you.
That's really.
What the? Who the hell are you?
Who the hell do you think I am, sweetie?
Damn.
Oh no. You mean?
That's right, baby.
Man,
As of
I would've
last
threw up
night,
real
we're
bad.
Man and wife.
To get out
I
of
would've-
marriage,
I
Quagmire
would've
claims to be
threw up,
gay, but
man.
Charmise demands proof, so Quagmire forced to seek out a difficult option.
Believe I'm gay. So, I need you to have sex with me while she watches.
This show is unhinged, man. This show is on, man. I don't know if I can get. I don't know if I can get this over with. Wait, what happened?
I have some demands.
Yeah, of course, of course.
This is Family Guy, so it's not the craziest thing to see on the show. Before the two, however, get into the act,
No
Charmise calls
way.
it off and grants Quagmire a divorce. But a relieved Quagmire and Peter soon realize they weren't the only ones that had to witness the absurdity and awkwardness of what was about to go down.
You're a friend, and I really owe you. Thanks, Peter.
Yeah, you're welcome, buddy. Hey, Quagmire, why is the red light blinking on you?
It's live.
What are we watching? Glee?
Free from the shackles
Glee.
of marriage, our giggity guy Quagmire doesn't let anything hold him back from freely engaging in his sexual exploits. This dude even threw a celebratory parade for his 1,000th
That's his body
sexual
count, yeah?
conquest called Quagfest.
His body
These are all
count.
of Quagmire's women organized by country. There's Brazil,
In alphabetical order as well, I'm
and
guessing.
there's Thailand. Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
However, as per
Yeah,
Quagmire,
we know why
his
it's
reckless
Thailand.
behavior
We
does
know
not
why he said
show up
wow
in his
for
professional
Thailand.
career. He has a job as an airline pilot, a role he took after leaving the Navy, and he's actually really good and skilled at it.
I wonder how old Quagmire is though. I'm genuinely curious to know how old Quagmire is. Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Whoa, gonna need some help. Alright.
His plane once got hijacked by terrorists. The hijackers demanded access to the cockpit so they could crash the plane into a Vegas hotel, but an experienced Quagmire sneakily presses the seatbelt sign to warn the passengers before performing a barrel roll to knock out the terrorists.
Flip for it!
Okay. Okay.
However, before anyone can start celebrating yet, fighter jets appear unaware that the hijackers have been taken care of, and Quagmire once again has to demonstrate his skill by safely landing the plane despite the wings being shot off.
Yeah, cause they're gonna
Oh God, this is it!
shoot it down or something. Yeah.
We're gonna make it.
If I'm being honest, yeah, just take away the fact that Quagmire's promiscuity and his sex drive the way he is an actually decent pilot, and decent is even an understatement. He's actually a very good pilot from most of the episodes that I have watched. Like, this guy can fly. He can
But
fly.
while Quagmire is really good and successful in his professional career as a pilot, he performs terribly as a father. I mean, it shouldn't come as a surprise
father.
that his escapades
Oh
with
yeah,
leading
yeah,
to
yeah, yeah,
fathering
yeah, yeah, yeah,
several
yeah, yeah,
illegitimate
yeah, yeah, yeah,
children.
yeah, yeah,
In
yeah,
the
yeah,
episode
yeah, yeah,
Quagmire's
yeah,
Baby,
yeah,
he
yeah,
discovers
yeah,
that
yeah. I've
he
seen
has a
scenes
daughter.
about
The
it.
baby's left on his
I've
doorstep,
seen
and Quagmire is
scenes
completely
about it.
stunned.
Yeah, I've seen clips about
But
it.
Quagmire knows nothing about raising a child or being a father. He still thinks the entire thing is a comedic by naming her Anna Lee just so he can make one stupid joke. He tries, however, to adapt to having a baby in the house, but he's absolutely terrible at it. When the baby wounds states,
wonder-
he decides she's got to go.
Hang on a second.
That is such a Quagmire thing
Nah.
to do, giving away your own child just so you can freely go about with your womanizing shtick. But then, Quagmire starts regretting his actions. Or maybe it is the guilt of not wanting to repeat the same family pattern he
Maybe,
experienced.
maybe.
Quagmire decides to get Anna back, but something changes when he goes to
Maybe.
get her back.
It's them!
No. And she's gonna grow up not knowing who her dad is.
She looks so happy.
I wonder if she came
On
back in
seeing
the
how happy
earlier
she is with her new
seasons though.
family, the realization suddenly hits Quagmire that the kid's life will turn out much better without his parenting influence.
And I wonder
Because of his
how old
lifestyle, he wouldn't
Quagmire
be able
is.
to offer her a normal childhood, and what would happen would just be a repeat of his own experiences as a kid being raised
Yeah.
by Crystal. Quagmire makes the sad decision of letting Anna stay with her new family.
Ready to go, Quagmire?
Yeah.
You know, I gotta tell you, I think you did a good thing.
Well, I guess I just realized it's not about me. This family is what's best for Annalee. This is her home now. I gotta let her go.
I'm proud of you, Quagmire.
Thanks, man.
I mean, this is still very twisted and sick, but guys, let's be
Yeah.
honest. The bar is already on the floor when it
Yeah.
comes to Quagmire, so somehow
This is-
still scores him
this-
good points.
this is the
I
best
spoke too
decision
fast
if
because
I'm
right after
being-
that, Glenn openly admits his misogynistic, perverted views about his daughter to Peter, hoping that he
What?
would bump into her in about 18 years. But what the hell, man? That's your own daughter. But who am I kidding here? In another instance, he nearly slept
opened
with his
him
own
with her
daughter
daughter.
without knowing. After meeting a girl named Courtney, he brings her back to his house, ready for some spicy
Oh, is it?
action.
Oh, this is not Anna Lee,
Courtney
yeah?
blurts out his famous catchphrase.
Lynn. Oh, giggity.
Did you just say giggity?
I guess the giggity runs in the genes because Quagmire quickly whips out his emergency DNA kit, and the results prove that, yep, Courtney
What?
is really his daughter.
You're my daughter.
I'm just going to overlook the fact that he
Yeah!
has an emergency DNA kit
And-
some
and-
first aid
and
box.
an-
okay, no, I can't.
and
overlook
a
that. Having
HIV
an
kit as
emergency
well.
DNA test kit are stuff
It's
like this
wild,
usually
man.
Quagmire.
You know, you're doing a great job. Why don't you jerk the rest of the day off?
Oh, what in the world? Coming back to Courtney, somehow learning that he has a daughter moves Quagmire to decide to change his life and be responsible for once. He asks Courtney to move in so that they can have a shot at being father and daughter. And no, Quagmire really meant it.
Yeah,
He
that's
shows
so
up for
weird,
her,
though.
going camping together, letting her fly his plane, and even attending her gymnastic performances.
Remember what I told you?
I'm the best around.
How d-
Nothing's gonna ever keep me down.
That's right.
But that's not all. His whole personality takes a U-turn such that Quagmire no longer tolerates any sexist talk, even from his friends.
I'm sorry, but I am not going to stand for any misogyny.
Oh.
Stop acting like a Neanderthal pig.
Those sound scary.
The nerve of you, Quagmire, calling
Just-
others misogynistic pigs, the classic pot and kettle. After this episode, we do not. see
Yeah, we
Courtney
know he's
again,
gonna
so
turn
it's hard to
around.
tell if all that character development really
yeah.
stuck, or if Quagmire got.
Yeah,
really
it's gonna
I've
turn
two
back
thoughts
to
this
being
matter. But
same
we
old
can say that
Quagmire.
When it comes to moments regarding people he cares about, Quagmire really demonstrates how far he really is willing to go to come to their defense, even if it reveals his hypocrisy. His deaf brother named Gary, who we never see except for how he cares about him and wouldn't tolerate anyone trying to make fun of him.
Running into each other. How you doing?
Fine.
She's a hot piece of ass, and from the looks of it, she likes it rough.
That's my sister, Brian. Her boyfriend has been beating her mercilessly.
Oh,
The
I
last
think
thing
I
she'd want
remember
right
this
now is to be
episode.
objectified.
Yeah, I remember this episode.
You feel good about your sex joke earlier, Brian?
Sadly, Quagmire's sister Brenda was in a relationship with a physically abusive boyfriend.
Yeah, I remember
Later,
this
Quagmire
episode.
reaches his boiling point in the episode Screams of
And
Silence.
yeah.
Unable to just
He
stand by and watch his sister being mistreated,
offed him.
Quagmire teamed up with a gang and lured Jeff into the woods, playing
I didn't even know he had a
Jeff got the
sister,
drop
though.
on Quagmire
Like,
and his
thinking
friends,
about
taking
it.
them all out and choking out Quagmire. But imagine trying to kill a fish by drowning.
I killed you!
I choke myself every day, you bastard.
What
To
do you
explain Jeff's
mean
sudden
like
absence,
that,
they gave Brenda
man?
a fake note from Jeff stating that he left, and Brenda breaks into tears, unable to bear the idea that she was abandoned by him.
I guess he's really gone.
And it's sad to say that there are relationships out there like that where the partner is extremely abusive, but still the other party don't want to leave the relationship. It is real. It happens. It's happening right now.
Crystal, this is what you did to your children. And still speaking about how Quagmire cares and stands up for those he loves, let's go back to the episode Quagmire's Dad. After Ida's fully transitioned, she ends up at the Marionette Hotel and hooks up with Brian. Brian, of course, had no idea who she was. However, that didn't make things any lighter for Brian when Quagmire found out.
Dirty little bastard, you're dead!
And the fight in Family Guy
wasn't enough. He even goes as
is
far as telling Brian about his
real.
injuries and that he'll blow his head off if he ever steps foot on his property. This causes Brian to start hating Quagmire back. Now, Quagmire's rivalry with Briangriffin is one of Family Guy's most enduring conflicts.
Yeah.
Their dislike for each other is so strong
Yeah, it's
that when
same-
Brian dies,
same as
during
Peter
his
and the
funeral,
chicken.
While everyone pays their respects to him, Quagmire would rather focus on his phone.
Damn it, Ortiz, stop swinging at junk.
Glenn views Brian as selfish, egotistical, and hypocritical, but haha, that's rich coming from Quagmire.
Who else but Quagmire?
The beef with
Exactly.
each other is fully shown in the episode Jerome is the New Black. After Brian keeps trying to figure out what he possibly did to offend Quagmire,
Oh,
goes
did we
on
ever
full
find a
rant
reason, though?
detailing why he absolutely loathes and detests
Oh, okay.
the canine.
I try to be nice to you and you still don't like me. How can you not like me?
You are the worst person I know. You constantly hit on your best friend's wife. The man pays for your food. and
But you do the same
This
thing.
is how you repay him?
But let's be real,
I mean-
his hatred for Brian is pure hypocrisy. He's
Yeah,
so furious at Brian for
you do
constantly
the
hitting
same
Lois, but
thing.
he, Quagmire, is constantly doing so.
Exactly,
And at a point,
bro.
He stalked her to the ladies' room, and that's the least of what
Man.
he's done.
Would you just sit down and go to the bathroom already?
He accused Brian of being ungrateful for the love and friendship that Peter has shown him, but who is Quagmire to talk about respecting friendship?
He
slept with
does
his
the
best friend's
same
wife,
thing.
Loretta, and this led to Cleveland and Loretta breaking up. And not to mention that he's also always trying to make a move on Meg, his best friend's daughter.
You know.
Bro,
So come on, Quagmire, you aren't in the position to call Brian out.
He's
You're
not
assuming
at
moral
all.
superiority. The both of them aren't so different after all. Both of them had gotten married and tried to get out of it by faking
yeah,
their
they're
own
literally
deaths.
the
I can
same
fake my own
people.
death. Can you throw me that white fur coat filled with honey-baked ham?
I can't take it, Peter.
I mean, how much more similarity do they need? Anyways, the rivalry between Brian and Quagmire would
Exactly.
further escalate when Brian intentionally dates Cheryl, Glenn's
Yeah.
ex. Furious, Quagmire retaliates by dating Brian's biggest love, Jillian. This, of course, led to a full-out fight between the two.
Enough! Stop it, both of you. You obviously have no respect for either of us.
At the end of the day, they lost both women. The two sit to have a conversation, and it kind of seems that they're maturing and finally understanding each other.
Yeah,
then
but
when
for
Brian
it to all
asks
change
ride
the next
home, Quagmire
episode.
does this. Their hatred for each other
Quagmire
continues
is literally K-Dot. Is literally Kendrick Lamar type level of hate. It's like, I hate the way that you walk, the way that you talk. I hate the way that you dress.
into the episode
That kind
where
of
they're
energy.
both running for mayor of Quahog.
But
It gets so
it's
heated that
crazy that Quagmire is literally the same
they end
thing.
up fighting on Quagmire's
He hates
campaign
about
bus,
Brian.
which causes it to crash on the side of a cliff.
Quagmire for mayor.
Thinking they're about to meet their fate, Brian tries to settle things between them, but again,
Oh,
Quagmire
his leg
rejects
is
the offer for
twisted.
friendship. Another reason why Quagmire despises Brian is because Brian got Quagmire's cat cafe shut down due to his hatred of both Quagmire and the felines. Quagmire takes
Oh,
the cats
really?
home, but unable to care for them, they all die and he has to burn their bodies. There's only one person to blame for this.
You!
And as usual, it turns into a full fight between the two of them. Although they made peace at the end, their feud still remains unchanged. But then there was a sign of growth and
Oh,
perhaps
what?
shared understanding between the two. Because in the episode where Brian gets his nose broken, Quagmire offers to pay for his teeth replacement surgery.
Yeah, I remember.
Take this.
What is this?
That's my dentist. He'll bill me. I've got an account.
But then Brian decides to repay this kindness by
Being a
scamming
jerk.
Quagmire.
Yeah, I remember the episode. Yeah, I remember this
That's
episode.
probably nothing.
Damn it, Brian screwed me!
Yeah, I remember
That was
this
low from
episode.
Brian, and sure, Quagmire is no saint at all, but in that moment...
And
he
Quagmire
deserved
got
it.
bread
My
though.
entire bonus into this place.
Let me see your contract.
Quagmire got
There's
bread
gotta be a
though.
way out of this.
Now this next part is going to be a lot. Quagmire's life story is one of perversion and depravity. He has committed practically every sex crime there is, and possibly invented more that we are unaware of. He has attempted to have sex with Peter Griffin's wife Lois, and even their daughter Meg. He slept with Marge Simpson before later going on to kill her and the rest of the family.
3 times in a row. You're amazing,
What?
Glenn.
Oh, I take
What?
pride in what I do.
Hey, what's going on here?
He likely intended to have sex with a teenage girl tied up in the bed.
What?
Dear diary, jackpot.
He traffics Asian women and plans to have sex with them. He has a woman tied up in his basement to starve. While he gave away his daughter with her adoptive family, he at the end planned to have sex
My
with her when she got older.
head
He had sex with Sheila,
hurts,
an underage
man.
Teenager. This act nearly got him sent to prison, where
He-
he would have likely been killed if his mother did not sleep with the judge.
He
in order to revoke the
should
sentence.
have,
He shared
man.
pictures of an underage Kira too, which makes him a child pornographer. And my God, he's a bloody necrophile. He has sex with Loretta's corpse, with his dead wife's corpse, and then he's shown jumping
What?
out of a coffin half naked.
Let us forever remember this beautiful young woman, taken from us
No
in
way.
the bloom of youth, yet as unspoiled as when she was born.
No way. No.
Who else but Quagmire?
Of course, it can only be Quagmire. There's no boundary to this man's sexual depravity. While being on The Bachelorette and Brian the Bachelor, he drugged Brooke's drink and attempted to drag her into a cabana, only to run
remember
off
this
with one of
one.
her shoes when he realized their date was being filmed.
All right. Oh, hey, forgot about you guys. Well, I guess your date's over.
Also, in another episode, he drags away the unconscious female boxer that Lois had just fought, and yes, we know what he intended to do with her. His house is literally rigged with booby traps to spice up his escapades with women.
Peter,
I have
say
no
you're not gonna
words,
have
man.
Sex with me.
What?
Just say it.
I'm not gonna have sex with you.
I have no words.
His bed, which he dubs the Holder Downer 5000, is equipped with mechanical arms in order to physically grab, strip, and restrain any female in a position ready for sex.
What's wrong with you, Holder Downer 5000? That's just for women.
His cabin sofa is also equipped to get women in the mood. And when Cleveland had fought him for sleeping with Loretta, we see that his entire house is made up of beds set for different positions in sexual activity.
You violated the sanctity of my marriage.
Basically, he does not seem to care exactly who or what he has sex with as long as it's a girl. Honestly, if not for the fact that the Family Guy show creators have played his sexual deviance as comedy, there's really no reason why he isn't indefinitely locked up. In some way, Glenn Quagmire's life is simply a wild roller coaster of chaos, trauma, and just peak.
If this was reality, man, he would not be he would not be alive right now. He would have been
upbringing to his many misadventures. His story is as outrageous as it is revealing. It is even more interesting when you realize that he's actually 61 years old.
Born in 1948?
What?
Yeah.
You're 61 years
He's
old?
older than them.
What's your secret?
Carrots. Sometimes I grind them up into juice or just eat them raw. Or insert them anally.
His age aside, the hypocritical contradictions to his personality and ideals...
Well, that makes sense given his first girlfriend, because she kind of looked old. She looked like, yeah, she was old. Like she was in her mid-50s, if I'm even being polite with it. Because I was wondering, how is it that her first girlfriend, when Brian was dating her, looked older than Quagmire?
Of his early childhood experience all add to the complexity of Glenn Quagmire's character. I would say it's almost as complex as his biggest enemy, briangriffin. Speaking of, if you want to see how briangriffin ruined Family Guy, then check out this video here.
Oh, damn. Is that the end? I'm guessing it is. Yeah. Okay, that was a lot. Because we all know Quagmire, man. We all know Quagmire, but the entire history, the entire story, the entire MO of Quagmire is wild. And if I'm being honest, as I mentioned, if this was reality, if Quagmire was in our reality, he would not be around right now. But I'm actually curious about how he's 60s or 61 and still looks that young, man. If I'm going to take anything away from Quagmire, or if I'm going to, want to learn anything from Quagmire, is how he stays that young, because I might actually need it when I'm that age. So that was a interesting and a very fun video, to say the least, and I really enjoyed it. If I'm being honest, I really enjoyed the video, and I hope you guys did as well. Let me know what else you want me to check out, and I'll check them out. Let me know in the comments. And for those who are expecting Theorizer content from the Theorizer, a comment about one of the comments recommended that I check out Short Girl and Lava Boy. That would be the next one I'll be checking out. I'm just waiting to watch the movie first. I'm guessing it's a movie, so I can be able to be in really into the theory when I watch it. So I haven't forgotten about it. I'll be checking that video out as well. So that's it from my end, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.